Hey guys, breaking news, the Oceangate Titanic has been found, and it is us. If there's a better metaphor for Western civilization than this tragedy, I don't know what it is, okay? There are so many parallels between this tragedy and the ongoing implosion of Western nations and Western civilization. It's uncanny. At the forefront, we have this extremely complex technology, this extremely advanced technology, submarines that were exclusively invented and developed by white men. And we have that technology now being laid in the hands of a new generation of white men who've been raised in a society of anti-whiteism and who have adopted anti-whiteism as their religion to the point where they vehemently excluded any white male from taking part in the engineering development of this project at all. Amazing. That right there is amazing. Never mind that probably 99% of the world's experts and top engineers on submarines are white men. Never mind that. Never mind that. It doesn't matter. What matters is adherence to the new religion and the new paradigm. And this new paradigm and this new religion of anti-whiteism is a direct reflection of the broader society, right? So we have this extremely advanced technology that has been now commandeered and taken away from the founding populations, just like our societies are being commandeered and taken away by this anti-white elite who've turned their back on the native white populations, the original founders of this technology and our civilizations. All of this is a perfect parallel with our own society, where we are finding time and time again that the affirmative action hires, the diversity hires, the multiculturalism hires, these people are incapable of even maintaining current levels of technology and development, more or less advanced. Sadly and tragically, as we found out in the Oceangate saga, we're finding out in our own nations that these other demographic populations simply do not have the ability to even maintain our current level of civilization. And anyone who questions that need look only at South Africa. Okay, South Africa, just a few decades ago, was a first world advanced civilization. The lights were always on. The water was always running. There was always food in the grocery store. There was always assistance at the hospitals. Today, none of those things are true. Today, none of those things are true. The same thing is happening at a slower pace in the United States, where I live. We've seen an obvious implosion of our society because of this forced multiculturalism and diversity and the affirmative action hires that we see everywhere. Okay. In fact, I'm going to come out with a couple of videos showing how deadly this has been in our own healthcare field. I'm hoping to have that video out in a few weeks. The parallel here is stark. It's obvious. So we have no idea what the ramifications are going to be when the British people are a minority in Britain. We have no idea what the ramifications are going to be, but the expectation is that the country is going to become more like a third world nation, right? And we're already seeing that in the large cities, of course, like London. So paralleling with the Oceangate saga, when they reached a certain depth, there was no coming back. They had lost communications, just as we have lost communications with our own government, with our own nation, and they reached a certain depth, and they were unable to come back. Our societies now are approaching that point. We're approaching the point where we may be unable to revive our own nations. We may be unable to restore our own nations should things go wrong. And just like on the Oceangate, how there were no contingency plans, there was no plan B to correct really any problem. In fact, they had their controller was actually like a $25 video game controller. That's the level of hubris that these people had because they had total faith in their new religion and their new God of diversity and multiculturalism. They had total faith in it. Okay, well, the same for our societies today. Our leaders have a $25 video game joystick controlling our submarine. And just as on the Oceangate, where they had absolutely no contingency plans at all, our societies have no contingency plans. There's no plan B. What happens if multiculturalism actually turns out to be a huge, colossal failure? What happens if diversity turns out to be a gigantic failure and our societies implode? Oceangate Titanic had evidently no contingency redundant systems that could protect the inhabitants of that craft. And our societies likewise have absolutely no concern about contingency plans should this experiment of multiculturalism and diversity prove to be a failure. And it's already proving to be a failure everywhere it's a majority. London, Los Angeles, New York, Paris, Detroit, Baltimore. Everywhere it is functioning, it's non-functional. So all of us should take heed of this warning, this lesson that was given to us, and start making contingency plans of our own, with our own family, with our own circle of friends, with our own community, just in case this ship doesn't come back up.